All right, let's talk about Alien Romulus. This is the latest film in the Alien franchise without Sigourney Weaver, sadly. It is directed by Fede Alvarez, who I think is a very talented director. He did a new Evil Dead film, which I thought was very good. This involves a group of young space colonizers. They're on a planet that is dark 24/7. It's very depressing, and they are working off their mining contract so they can finally leave and go on to better pursuits. The lead character is a young girl named Rain, and she calls her brother, but it's really an android that is her very close friend. Andy, played by David Johnson, is an android, and a whole group of friends that they really, really want to escape this mining colony and go on to brighter pastures. They find out there is a floating space station that is unmanned. No one is on the space station, and in a very short time, its orbit will diminish and it will be destroyed. But if they can get to it soon enough and grab some cryo chambers, they could use those chambers to get in a ship to go on to a better place. So they take a vehicle and they go up to the ship, and of course discover that this ship was a place where experiments were done. There may be mild spoilers, but I'm only going to talk about the first third or so of the film. The people on this vessel, they were able to somehow, in the vastness of space, find the alien that Ripley dispensed with in the first Alien movie. It was preserved in a sort of fossilized rock. The alien is in it, and they did experiments, and everyone in this facility is gone. So they're dead. They begin exploring. They uncover, this is all in the trailers, face huggers. Some of these friends are in peril. Andy is Andy is an android that is very dedicated to Rain. Her parents put in his programming, he must protect her at all costs. He gets some new programming so he can open doors on the space station that somehow alter his plan, his agenda. Of course, one by one, these colonizers are they're placed in peril, and Rain must make a choice about how she shall survive. I won't go into more detail than that because I know people get upset. This is not going to keep this very non-spoiler. I'll say this about the film. The characters, let's talk about the actors. Callie Spaney is fine. She's okay. The best actor plays a robot, David Johnson, as Andy, who tells dad jokes. There are two other actors, Tyler and Bjorn, that have British accents. You can barely understand what they're saying, played by Archie Renault and Spike Fern. Aileen Wu, she's fine as kind of a non-binary looking woman, a woman of action. But I'm not particularly really attached to these actors. You know, you're supposed to like them because they're threatened, but I didn't find them, other than Andy and the lead, Rain, I didn't find them particularly compelling. But this movie has the check boxes of everything you'd want in an alien movie. Face huggers, people in peril, chest bursters, xenomorphs, all of it. and a mysterious experiment on this station that is revealed later about what the Weyland-Yutani company's intentions are. While it does have the checkbox of what you'd want to see, and for the most part, mostly practical effects. I say mostly because as the film progresses, there are CG effects I thought that were not very good. There is a cameo from a character from the first Alien that I think looks so bad used in a deep fake / cheap fake sense that did not work, that took me out of it. So there's some bad CG effects that took me out of the film. While it does have the things you would look for, the first half drags, the third act does not stick the landing. And, I care about Alien movies when I care about the characters. And this is where this falls short. The script was weak. No one's going to complain about for the most of the effects. At least the practical effects are decent. But I was just not. I'm more invested in the popcorn bucket than I am in this film. And in the end, unfortunately, I think I'll say this: normies may love this film. I did not. I'm a hardcore Alien fan. I saw the first Alien recently in theaters. It was re-released, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Was not sold. Even after the first Alien movie, because the one thing is Sigourney Weaver was sexy. We saw her in panties and a very tight tank top. She looked amazing. I miss sexy, because I think horror, you need horror when it's good. You have a sexy is part of it. And Cally Spaney as the character of Rain Carradine is not. At no point did they make her out to be sexy at all. I think that's part of good horror. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if I see her in another Alien movie. So while I think normies will probably like it, I had the same reaction to this as I had with the latest Planet of the Apes. It's like, well, that's a Planet of the Apes movie. And well, this is an Alien movie. It's fine. In a month, we won't be even talking about it. I did not like it. I can't recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 10. I will say the audience I saw it with seemed to like it. Sort of tepid applause at the end. And as I said, normies love it. As a fan of the franchise from the beginning, did not really resonate with me. And it's a pass for me. So there are my thoughts. I will go into more detail when we do a spoiler review, and I really want to hear your thoughts, Alan. So
I do have to watch it then.
You have to see it. You have to see it.
Well,
so
I will say I saw Alien for the first time a year ago, and I guess I'm getting used to horror films.
Well, you need to see this. It's a big one, so you got to see it. Yeah. But whatever you think about it, I'm curious. I did not, and I cannot tell you the things that bothered me the most because they're all in the third act.
Yeah,
it sounds like. Wait, let me wait.
Okay,
the third act, is where all the problems are, and I'm gonna respect. There'll be no spoilers here, but the third act lands with a thud. Okay. And to get specific will ruin the film. I'm not going to do that, but I will do it Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. So there you are.
All right, let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
One is, if I have never seen an Alien movie before this one, will I enjoy myself more?
Maybe. I mean, I do think it helps to see the first Alien. Rewatch Alien 1 because this takes place between Alien and Aliens. So watch the first. You've seen the first one. That's all. You're good. You're good then. So this is Alien 1.5.
Because so here's the thing. because the first Alien, the things that the alien does in the first movie, you had never seen before. This was new when it comes to horror filmmaking, which is probably the reason I didn't see the first one, because I knew horrific things happen to people, especially a lot of the body gore. But now that we're decades past, it just feels like the impact of the alien doing the alien thing is not as terrifying as it was.
Yes, because we know what's coming. And the thing is this, though, for Fede Alvarez, it looks great. I mean, the movie looks great. It looks in the world. The opening scene, there's like a nod. There's a lot of nods and member berries. You're going to get nods and member berries, not just to visuals, but sound effects that matter. Okay. So it's, but really it's the weakness is the script and the actors. I thought the characters are just not, I mean, what's great about the first Alien, these are adults, right? They're not millennials, they're not kids in space. No, they're adults, grizzled truck drivers in space. Yeah. That's what they are.
They could defend themselves to a point.
Yeah, blue collar, like, and it was very, very diverse, right?
Yeah.
This is Gen Z in space, and just all the problems are really in the second half, because I was there. I was like, okay, I'm good with moving slow. I'm good with horror, but show me something I haven't seen. Tell me a story I'm so invested in. And I saw Alien recently, a couple months ago. I saw it with my daughter, who had never seen it in a theater. She was, I mean, the both of us were like, there's not a scene or a line you could lose. It's fast. It like, in terms of the pace, it builds and builds and builds. That final act is just, the audience just clapped and everyone stayed and talked about how good this film is. So I just think they're trying to appeal to a new audience by casting, can I see myself in this movie? And there's a big problem in the third act that I cannot even talk about, but we'll talk about it Friday. We'll go in depth, major spoilers Friday, and your opinion will be included.
Okay. Now, what I had heard is they recreated the alien moment from Spaceballs in the third act. When the alien pops out and then does a song and dance number.
That is not true.
That's not true. That's not in there.
Not true.
Okay.
Not true. Okay, so
I was gonna say it's weird to me, but look, this is like Jurassic Park, where nothing beats that first movie.
Right.
As much as technology has advanced with Jurassic Park, the first movie had the best effects and the best players. And somehow the ability to recreate this is just not happening. Aliens is the only exception to that.
Well, it's all the problems are in the third act. We'll talk about it. It's for me, like, only on one viewing, and I do change my mind. It's a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a 4 out of 10 because in a month, I don't think this we'll be talking about it. I do think that normies will probably enjoy it more. It'll get like maybe on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe a 60, 70 and Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what critics score is yet.